We're just hours away from the first presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. We'll have what you need to know. And we look back on the legendary career of actor James Earl Jones. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Tuesday, September 10th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump will take the stage in their first debate. It's a big moment and opportunity for both campaigns, as battleground polls continue to show the presidential race is a close one. The debate will also mark the first time Harris and Trump meet in person. Harris has spent the last few days doing mock debates, practicing on stage with lights, and sparring with former Hillary Clinton aide Felipe Reyes, who even dressed as Trump during his performance against Harris. During a radio interview, Harris laid out what she expects to see from her opponent on debate night.
He plays from this really old and tired playbook, right? Where there's no floor for him in terms of how low he will go. And we should be prepared for that. We should be prepared for the fact that he is not burdened by telling the truth. And we should be prepared for the fact that he is probably going to speak a lot of untruths.
Meanwhile, Trump has said he doesn't need formal preparation to debate Harris. Instead, he's been holding policy sessions and speaking with a small team of advisors, which include former Democratic presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard and Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. Trump has continued on the campaign trail, business as usual, and made an announcement on Truth Social on Monday, promising no taxes on Social Security benefits.
To help seniors on fixed incomes who are suffering the ravages of Kamala Harris's inflation nightmare, it's a total nightmare, I'm promising no tax on Social Security benefits.
As for the rules, there is no opening statements, no audience, no pre-written notes or huddling with staff during commercial breaks. And microphones will be muted when it's not a candidate's turn to speak. A reminder, the debate is hosted by ABC, but will air on other networks as well, beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll have the highlights for you in tomorrow's edition of the Morning Rundown. And now to developing news from the wars in Europe and the Middle East. Ukraine struck Moscow and parts of western Russia in one of its biggest ever drone attacks. According to Russia, at least one woman is dead and dozens of homes have been destroyed. Russian officials say they destroyed at least 20 drones over Moscow alone and more than 120 over 8 other regions. Russia is likening the drone attack to terrorism since it targeted civilian infrastructure. Ukraine has not commented on the attack. Meanwhile, in Gaza, dozens of people were killed in what the Israeli military says was a strike on a Hamas command center. Residents and medics said the tent encampment near Khan Yunis, which Israel has designated a humanitarian safe zone for displaced Palestinians, was hit by at least 4 missiles. The Hamas-run government media office in Gaza says more than 40 people were killed in the strike and more than 60 more wounded, while many still remain unaccounted for. Evacuations have begun along the Gulf Coast as Tropical Storm Francine gains strength. The storm is already bringing flooding to the southernmost parts of Texas as it takes aim at Louisiana. It's forecast to make landfall there tomorrow as a hurricane, bringing even more flooding, damaging winds, and life-threatening storm surge. Louisiana's governor has declared a statewide emergency ahead of the storm's arrival. Mandatory and voluntary evacuations have been ordered in multiple parishes along Louisiana's coast, as well as parts of southern Mississippi. Francine is expected to turn into a Category 2 hurricane before making landfall, potentially keeping up that strength when it does. This is the 6th named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season so far. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill found himself in handcuffs a block away from Hard Rock Stadium just hours before the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. Now, newly released body cam footage shows what unfolded when he was pulled over by police.
Don't knock on my window like that, man. Don't knock on
Why
my
don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Knock on my window like that, though. Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down.
It's after Hill doesn't comply with the officer's orders to roll his window down that things begin to escalate. Hill is seen dragged out of his car and forced face down onto the ground along the roadway in the video. The footage also reveals Hill was originally stopped for speeding. It takes approximately 1 minute from when the officer leaves his motorcycle to when Hill is pulled out of his car. The NFL star receiver had received 2 citations in the incident and was briefly detained but never put under arrest. As anticipated, Apple revealed its latest lineup of tech at the company's Glow Time event on Monday, including the iPhone 16 series with artificial intelligence capabilities.
The next generation of iPhone has been designed for Apple Intelligence from the ground up. It marks the beginning of an exciting new era.
Apple CEO Tim Cook unveiling the iPhone 16, saying it raises the bar for what an iPhone can do. Along with artificial intelligence, the new phones have bigger batteries, larger displays, an improved camera and control button, and it's all powered by Apple's new A18 chip, which is optimized to running large generative AI models like Apple Intelligence. The iPhones will be available to pre-order starting Friday, and the starting price is $799. Finally this morning, James Earl Jones, the iconic actor known for his booming voice, has died. His commanding presence on screen has made him a household name for decades. James Earl Jones overcame a childhood stutter and would go on to be the voice behind Darth Vader in Star Wars and Mufasa in The Lion King. It was his voice that captured some of the greatest characters of all time. He appeared in nearly 90 television dramas and series and some 120 movies during his long career. Jones garnered numerous awards, and he has the rare EGOT, earning an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Jones was 93 years old. These are your top stories for this Tuesday. And before we go, I want to share some big news. There's changes coming to the Morning Rundown. Starting this coming Monday, September 16th, the Morning Rundown is getting a new name, Unbiased Updates. There will also be a new face behind the desk. Craig Negrelli, an experienced journalist, will be taking over in the morning to host Unbiased Updates. Every Monday through Friday, you can still expect the same consistent, fact-focused information you've come to expect from us. And as for me, I'll still be here bringing you important stories throughout the week, continuing the mission just on a new schedule. There's more exciting things to come here at SAN, so please stay tuned. We're excited for this new chapter, and we hope that you'll stay with us on this journey. I'm Kara Rucker. I hope you have a great day.